What does a woman feel when you walk away? Old Stoic wisdom. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. Eden Abes. Men chase, boys pursue. But legends, true legends, walk away the moment they realize the chase has lost its meaning. Something unexpected stirs within her, something she never anticipated. When you step back, you're not just leaving her life, you're pulling away the very energy that fed her pride and inflated her sense of control. The instant you stop offering your attention, validation, and desire, she encounters a feeling she dreads more than anything: vulnerability. Have you ever noticed how a woman's behavior can shift dramatically when a man stops caring? One moment, she's distant, indifferent, maybe even arrogant, acting like you're just an option. Then suddenly she's scrolling through your social media, dropping casual, "Hey stranger" messages, searching for any excuse to reconnect. But don't be fooled. She's not missing you. She's missing the attention, the validation, the feeling of being desired. This is the power a man holds when he understands his worth, and why walking away is often the most powerful move you can make. Before we explore this deeper truth, I want you to take a moment. If you're ready to embrace this raw, unapologetic reality, comment below. I am the prize. Say it, own it. And if you want this message to reach more men ready to break free from toxic cycles, hit subscribe. Together, we'll help more men reclaim their power and rewrite their stories. Number 1. Shock and denial. Women are masters of deception. Men, listen carefully and absorb this wisdom as if your very life depends on it, because it does. What I'm about to reveal is the ancient, Stoic truth that separates boys from men, the powerless from the masters of their fate. When you walk away from a woman who holds you captive in her emotional game, everything changes, not in the way you might expect, but deep beneath the surface where true power lives. Women do not rely on brute strength to control you. No, their weapon is far more dangerous: manipulation, psychological mastery, and the unseen power dynamics that keep you locked in a cage of desire and doubt. The most important lesson is this: a woman does not need to love you to control you. She does not even need to care about you. All she must do is keep you wanting, chasing, hoping, and that is the chain that binds you. She will offer you just enough attention to make you believe you are special, just enough affection to keep your heart hooked, just enough validation to make you think you have a chance. But the moment you start to feel secure, comfortable, or like you are winning, she pulls away. She starves you of the affection you crave. She delays her replies, cancels plans last minute, becomes mysteriously busy when before she was eager to see you. Why? Because your certainty is her enemy. Power does not live in comfort. It lives in uncertainty. The more you chase, the more control she holds. And what do most men do? They double down. They send more texts, call more often, try harder to prove their worth. They beg in silence with every message, with every phone call. This is her trap. But here is where a man of true strength rewrites the story. He stops. He stops chasing. He stops begging. He stops proving. He walks away. The moment you do this, the entire dynamic shifts. She will act like she does not notice. She will pretend nothing has changed. But inside, panic takes root. No, this cannot be, she tells herself. He's just playing a game. Men always come back. She's been through this before. Most men cave within days, desperate to reclaim what they think is theirs. But not you. You do not chase. You do not beg. You hold your silence like a shield and walk fully away, not looking back. This is your power moment. And this is when the first cracks form in her carefully constructed reality. She tests the waters, likes a picture, sends a casual, "Hey," watches your stories like a hawk waiting for your reaction. This is her vulnerability laid bare. She waits, checking her phone obsessively, desperate for the notification that proves you are still hers. If you respond, she wins, because it means you were never serious. But if you do not respond, if you remain silent and firm, her entire sense of control shatters. Panic turns into self-doubt. Her certainty about her place in your world begins to unravel. This is phase 2, the shift from control to chaos for her, and from weakness to strength for you. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The greatest strength you can wield in a relationship is mastery over yourself. Modern life is filled with noise, distractions, and endless illusions of connection through technology, but true mastery means knowing when to engage and when to retreat. Use this timeless wisdom as your weapon. Stand firm, walk away, own your absence like a king claims his throne. Don't chase. Command respect through your silence and your refusal to be controlled. When you do this, the woman who once ruled your emotions now scrambles in silence, plagued by self-doubt and confusion. She questions everything because you have taken away her greatest weapon, your desperate attention. You rise, free, powerful, untouchable. This is not just survival, this is domination of your life. The men who understand this do not just exist. They become legends in their own stories. Remember, he who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior. Now is your time. Take this knowledge, live it, breathe it, and let the world witness the man who walks away and takes control of his destiny. Like this post if you are ready to stop begging for attention. Comment below with, "I am the master of my worth," and subscribe for more truths that transform boys into men. This is your moment. Own it. Number 2. Self-doubt and reflection. When a man walks away and doesn't look back, the emotional ripple it sends through a woman's heart and mind is far deeper and more intricate than many realize. Initially, she will wrap herself in protective lies to shield her fragile ego, telling herself things like he's just playing games, trying to make her jealous, or that he will grow bored and eventually come back. This is not denial born from weakness, but a natural defense mechanism, a way for her mind to preserve hope and delay the crushing acceptance of the harsh reality. But as the days drag on, and he remains silent, unreachable, her mental fortress starts to crumble. She can no longer escape the painful truth that is slowly settling in: rejection. This feeling is something many men are familiar with. Men face rejection routinely, whether in dating, work, or life's many arenas. Men are often rejected, ghosted, ignored, or curved, and it becomes an almost accepted, if unpleasant, part of their experience. But for many women, rejection is a foreign, intolerable sensation because their life experience has often been the opposite. Most women grow up in a world where they are pursued and desired, where options feel plentiful and attention is frequent. They have had men chasing them, texting them, complimenting them, vying for their time and affection. So when a man, especially one she thought she had some measure of control over, truly walks away without a backward glance, it shakes the very foundations of her sense of self. Suddenly, she faces a terrifying, soul-shaking question. Maybe I wasn't as special as I thought. This is where her self-doubt takes hold and begins to consume her. She starts spending more time in front of the mirror, painstakingly adjusting her appearance, replaying conversations and moments in her mind to understand what went wrong. She finds herself scrolling through his social media pages obsessively, wondering if he has moved on, searching desperately for signs that might explain his silence or hint at someone else. Her identity, often built on the pillars of desirability, value, and worth in the eyes of others, now feels violently threatened. When the man she thought she could influence no longer desires her, she is forced to confront a truth she never wanted to face. She asks herself, am I losing my looks? Did he find someone better? Was I simply not good enough? These questions fuel a firestorm of insecurity that can feel like it threatens to tear her apart from the inside out. This internal battle is not just emotional, but deeply psychological. It brings her to a place she rarely inhabits: jealousy. She starts wondering if there is another woman, becomes fixated on who is liking his pictures, who is commenting on his posts, and she silently stalks his followers, trying to piece together a narrative that explains her new reality. Suddenly, the roles have reversed, and she is the one chasing, the one who feels the ache of longing and confusion. This silent torment is hidden behind a facade of calm and composure, but inside, it can feel like a scream that has no outlet. This profound and often misunderstood psychological journey is why women frequently come back after a man walks away. They are not built to handle the idea of a man moving on and never looking back. The deeper this wound cuts, the more desperate and fragile she becomes, spiraling eventually into the final phase of emotional collapse, rationalization, rebound, and heartbreak. This progression is more than just about love and loss. It is about her confronting the very essence of her self-worth and identity. The ancient Stoics understood suffering and how it reveals our true character. Seneca wisely said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This means that much of the pain we feel is amplified by the stories we tell ourselves and the fears we nurture in our minds. For men who may not fully grasp this emotional landscape, recognizing the internal battle a woman faces when walked away from can deepen empathy and insight. It becomes clear that walking away isn't merely a physical departure, but a seismic emotional shift that reverberates through her entire being. In practical terms, if you find yourself contemplating walking away, or have already done so, it's vital to understand the magnitude of your action. This knowledge is not a tool for manipulation, but a call for respect and clarity in relationships. Approach your connections with honesty and compassion, knowing the power your presence or absence holds. To those who have endured this pain, your experience is not isolated, and sharing your story can be a source of strength and healing for others navigating similar paths. I invite you to open up in the comments below. Reflect on your feelings, your struggles, and your growth. Your voice can light the way for many who are silently suffering, reminding us all that vulnerability is not weakness, but a profound form of courage. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In this journey of love, loss, and self-discovery, pain can become the catalyst for profound personal transformation if we allow ourselves to learn and grow from it. When a man walks away without looking back, he sets off a storm inside her, a battle of self-doubt, heartbreak, and reflection that shakes her very sense of worth. This isn't just about loss, it's about facing the raw truth of who we are beneath the surface. Understanding this is the first step toward respect, empathy, and real growth in relationships. If this resonates with you, drop a comment right now. I own my worth no matter what. Number 3. Rationalization and rebound. At this stage, her emotions are completely out of control. She has gone through shock, denial, panic, and self-doubt. She has spent nights staring at her phone, checking your social media, wondering why you're not coming back. And now she has reached the most destructive phase of all, rationalization. This is where her mind plays tricks on her to avoid facing the brutal truth. She lost control over a man who was supposed to be beneath her, a man who wasn't supposed to walk away, a man who was supposed to be crying, suffering, begging her to take him back. But instead, you are doing the exact opposite. You don't care. You aren't watching her stories. You aren't texting her. You aren't affected. And this is where she starts rewriting history. She has to justify why you walked away, so she doesn't have to admit to herself that she was the problem. She will start to lie to herself. She will say things like, "I was never that into him anyway. He was too obsessed with me, and it was unattractive. He was weak. That's why he couldn't handle me. I deserve better." She will tell her friends that you were too needy, or that she wasn't feeling it anymore. She will convince herself that she ended things first, even though you were the one who walked away. She will pretend she is better off without you. But here's what you need to understand. She isn't trying to convince the world. She's trying to convince herself. Because deep down, she knows the truth. She knows she fumbled a man who had power. She knows she lost a man who refused to be controlled, and that kills her inside. She doesn't want to sit alone with her thoughts. She doesn't want to self-reflect. She doesn't want to admit that she made a mistake. So what does she do? She finds another man, And this is where she makes her biggest mistake, jumping into a rebound. She grabs the first guy she can find, a beta male, a weak man who will worship her, a guy she never truly wanted. But why does she do this? Because she is not trying to love him. She is using him as an emotional bandage to cover the pain of losing you. She needs someone to fill the hole in her ego. She needs someone to reassure her that she's still desirable. She needs to see a man chasing after her so she can feel valuable again. And that's why you'll suddenly see her posting happy pictures, going on vacations, and acting like life is amazing. She wants you to see it. She wants you to think she's already moved on. She wants to trigger jealousy in you. But what she doesn't realize is the only person she's hurting is herself. At first, it seems like she's winning. She's got a new guy. She's posting more, smiling more, acting like life is perfect. But here's the problem. She doesn't actually respect him, because deep down she knows the truth about weak men. She knows this new guy was too easy. He didn't make her work for it. He didn't have the self-respect to say no to her games. He didn't walk away. He ran towards her the second she showed interest. And women never respect men they can control. So what happens? She starts losing attraction. She starts realizing this new guy doesn't excite her. He doesn't challenge her. He doesn't hold any mystery. He doesn't make her feel like she has something to prove. And suddenly she's bored. And when women get bored, they cheat. She starts texting other guys. She starts going out more. She starts pulling away from him. And before he even realizes what happened, she's already gone. But guess who she starts thinking about? You. Because now she realizes her biggest mistake. She traded a strong man for a weak one. She downgraded. She threw away power for comfort. And that is a mistake she will regret forever. This is why women always come back. They don't come back because they love you. They don't come back because they miss you. They come back because they thought the grass was greener on the other side. And then they realized they were standing in a desert. They come back because you were a challenge, and they traded you for a doormat. They come back because they thought they could do better, and then realized they lost the best thing they had. And when that realization hits them, it's already too late. Because by the time she figures it out, you're already gone. And now you're the one who is unreachable. You're the one who moved on. You're the one who is truly free, and that is the ultimate power most men never learn. They keep chasing, they keep texting, they keep begging for attention, and that's why they always lose. But the men who truly understand this game, the men who walk away and mean it, they become the only men women respect. Because here's the truth. Women do not love men they can control. They only respect the men who refuse to be controlled, and once you understand this, you will never chase a woman again. You will never beg for attention. You will never waste your time trying to prove your worth, because you are the prize. If you've made it to the end of this video, comment below. I am unstoppable. Number 4. Acceptance and growth. After the raging storm of emotions, the confusion, the anger, the heartbreak finally begins to settle, something deeper takes root. Acceptance. This is the pivotal moment she faces the undeniable reality. You are no longer there. You have chosen to walk away, to move on with your life. And this shatters her world. But make no mistake, this is no ordinary moment of defeat. It's a profound turning point. She's forced to stop looking outward, to stop blaming you or circumstances, and to turn inward. For the first time, she asks herself the most difficult questions. Why did I lose someone who truly mattered? What part did I play in letting this man walk away? What can I change about myself to never lose someone like him again? This phase, raw, uncomfortable, honest, is the seed of her growth, but only if she dares to face it with brutal honesty. And yet, while her journey begins here, this is more importantly your moment. This is your chance to stand unshaken, to hold your ground and never look back. The true essence of strength is not in making her chase you or begging for her attention. It's in never needing that chase at all. True power lies in unwavering self-respect, unbreakable emotional independence, and the confidence to own your worth without apology. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is the modern man's battlefield, not external, but internal. In today's world, where connection is fleeting and attention is cheap, your refusal to be easily caught is your greatest asset. When you walk away, she feels it deeply, not because she controlled you, but because she recognizes the rare force of a man who chooses himself first. You don't manipulate with games. You command respect by embodying authenticity and integrity. You set a standard that demands reverence. This moment is not about revenge or resentment. It's about becoming a man who transforms endings into powerful new beginnings. Every step you take forward is a declaration. You are the prize, your worth is undeniable, and you will not settle for anything less than what you deserve. Growth is not an option. It is a mandate. It is your responsibility to evolve beyond pain, to rise from the ashes stronger and wiser than ever before. To the men listening now, take this truth and own it with absolute authority. Refuse to be a man who looks back with regret. Instead, become the man who leads with courage, commands with confidence, and lives with purpose. Write your story in bold strokes. Comment below with a powerful statement declaring your commitment to growth. Smash that like button if you're ready to own your power, and subscribe for relentless truths that will keep sharpening your edge. Remember this: the moment you stop needing her chase is the moment you become unstoppable. Walk away, grow, conquer. Your time is now. If you faced the storm and chosen to walk away, you're already standing in your power. True strength isn't about making her chase you. It's about owning your worth, growing beyond pain, and never looking back. This is your call to rise as the man who leads with courage and lives with purpose. Now, comment below with this statement to declare your commitment. I choose growth over regret, strength over weakness, and I own my worth without apology. Smash that like button if you're ready to own your power, and subscribe for relentless truths that sharpen your edge. Your time is now. Number 5. Respect is earned, not given. This is a fundamental truth that many men, especially those navigating the complexities of relationships between the ages of 35 and 70, often overlook or misunderstand. Respect is not a right that comes automatically with presents or a title. It is not something you can demand or force upon others. Instead, respect is a currency earned through consistent, deliberate actions, firm boundaries, and, most importantly, the unwavering respect you hold for yourself. When a man walks away from a relationship or situation, not as a means of punishment or emotional gamesmanship, but as an authentic expression of self-worth, he communicates a powerful message. He will not settle for less than he deserves. This act, carried out with dignity and calm confidence, forces the woman to pause and reconsider how she has treated him, whether she has truly valued him or merely taken his presence for granted. As the Old Stoic wisdom advises, men who chase lose respect, men who walk away with confidence earn it. This isn't merely about pride. It's about understanding the deep psychological and emotional dynamics that respect hinges upon. Desperation or chasing signals, insecurity, vulnerability, and a lack of self-regard, which invariably diminishes the respect others have for you. Conversely, walking away confidently demonstrates emotional strength, self-control, and the priceless trait of self-respect. The words of Ralph Waldo Emerson, "Respect yourself and others will respect you," encapsulate this idea beautifully. Real respect is never granted without a foundation of self-respect. In practical terms, this means setting clear, non-negotiable boundaries and consistently upholding them. When you respect yourself, you are teaching others how to treat you, not through words, but through your actions and choices. Walking away becomes an eloquent, unspoken statement of your value. It is a demonstration that you will not tolerate being undervalued or disrespected, no matter how difficult the moment may feel. This is not about shutting down communication or turning cold, but about preserving your dignity and maintaining your inner strength. In everyday life, many men fall into the trap of chasing validation, believing that persistence will win affection or approval. Unfortunately, this often leads to frustration and a gradual erosion of self-respect, because chasing usually reflects desperation and fear of loss. Embracing the Stoic principle of walking away instead allows you to reclaim your power, showing that your worth is independent of another person's approval or attention. Walking away isn't a surrender. It is a strategic and courageous choice to protect your emotional health and self-esteem. Think of respect as a bank account. You deposit respect through honourable actions and withdraw it wisely by refusing to accept anything less than what you deserve. Walking away with integrity is one of the most profound withdrawals you can make. It protects your account balance and sends a clear message about your value. Moreover, this approach resonates deeply with real-life challenges men face. It requires maturity to recognize when a relationship or interaction no longer serves your dignity, and to have the courage to step away without bitterness or anger. It is a reminder that your worth is not tethered to another person's approval or fleeting affection. The Stoic mindset teaches us to anchor our self-worth internally, rather than seeking it externally, where it is unstable and unreliable. When you respect yourself enough to walk away, you demonstrate not only strength, but also a profound understanding of what it means to be a man of character and principle. This wisdom can transform how you navigate relationships, making your connections healthier and more meaningful over time. If you've ever struggled with the decision to stay or leave, consider this. Choosing yourself is the highest form of respect you can offer. It's not a failure or a loss, but a powerful affirmation of your value. Walking away with confidence invites genuine respect, not just from others, but from yourself. I encourage you to reflect on your own experiences and share your thoughts in the comments below. How has walking away affected your relationships or your sense of self-worth? Your insights could inspire others to embrace this difficult but rewarding path toward earning true respect and maintaining their dignity in every area of life. Number 6. True freedom lies in detachment. Listen carefully. This is not a lesson for the faint-hearted or the emotionally dependent. It is a commandment carved into the very essence of Stoic wisdom, and it is what separates the boys from the men, the weak from the powerful. Detachment is not about becoming cold, distant, or indifferent. It's about forging an unshakable emotional independence that liberates you from the desperate need for a woman's approval, affection, or validation. When a man masters detachment, he no longer drowns in the unpredictable storms of her moods, the manipulative games, or the erratic cycles of attention and neglect that so many fall victim to. Instead, he becomes the sovereign architect of his own emotional kingdom, calm, centered, unwavering, in full control of himself. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoics, said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This strength is exactly what detachment gives you. It is the power to stand tall, regardless of the chaos swirling around you. Detachment doesn't mean you care less or love less. It means you love yourself more, above all else. You protect your self-respect, your inner peace, and your well-being as the most sacred treasures you possess. This is the ultimate form of self-care and emotional mastery, the kind of power that naturally commands respect and admiration. And here is the profound paradox. Women don't desire a man who clings or begs for attention. They are magnetized by the man who walks away, not in anger, not out of spite, but from a place of unyielding dignity and self-possession. That walk away is a silent message louder than any words. I am whole. I am enough. I do not depend on your validation. This magnetic freedom is what makes a man irresistible. In today's world, where relationships are bombarded with blurred boundaries, constant texting, social media pings, and the illusion of endless availability, emotional dependency has become the silent killer of masculine power. Many men find themselves trapped in the exhausting loop of seeking reassurance, reacting to every emotional trigger like a puppet on strings. But the man who masters detachment rises above this noise. He understands what he can control, his own thoughts, actions, and responses, and releases what he cannot, the moods, opinions, and behaviors of others. This acceptance is not weakness. It is the fiercest resilience. When you choose to walk away calmly, you reveal your true power. Your self-worth is untouchable, unshakable, anchored deep within. No external drama, no emotional manipulation can break you. This inner fortress of freedom is your greatest weapon and your most attractive quality. It invites healthy, balanced relationships where love is not fueled by need or fear, but by mutual respect, admiration, and free will. This is the timeless wisdom the Stoics lived by. Control what is within your power, your mind and actions, and accept what lies beyond with grace and composure. In today's emotional battlefield, this principle is your ultimate game changer. It means no longer chasing drama or trying to fix or change others. It means walking away from chaos and walking toward yourself, toward clarity, strength, and purpose. This transformation elevates not only your relationships, but every aspect of your life. You become a man who lives on his own terms, who radiates confidence, who inspires others to rise with him. Detachment is not surrender, it is mastery. It is the key to being unstoppable, grounded, free, and commanding. Remember the words of Seneca. He is most powerful who has power over himself. Own your freedom. Own your detachment. This is how you become the man women desire, the man who walks away and still holds the ultimate power, his own. If you're ready to step into this power, to walk away stronger and more confident than ever, then don't wait. Like, comment and subscribe if you're committed to mastering your emotional freedom and living life on your terms. Share in the comments one way you've practiced detachment and how it transformed your relationships. The road to true freedom begins the moment you choose to no longer be a slave to others' approval. Plato said, "The greatest wealth is to live content with little." Your greatest wealth is the freedom that comes with detachment. Claim it now. Be unstoppable. Be sovereign. Be the man you were born to be. If you're ready to claim true freedom, master emotional detachment, and become the man who stands unshakable and whole, like, comment, and subscribe now. Share your power by commenting below. I walk away with dignity because my worth is my own. Let's build a community of strength and freedom together. Number 7. The power of silence and mystery. In a world that never stops talking, where every moment is flooded with notifications, endless messages, and demands for instant replies, silence emerges as your most powerful weapon. When you walk away and hold your silence firm, you create a void, a vacuum that unsettles her deeply. This is no mere absence of noise. This is a strategic pause, a deliberate act that challenges her assumptions and forces her to confront the unknown. Women are naturally wired for emotional connection, craving clarity and communication. But when you withhold that, when you refuse to fill the space with your words, you ignite a powerful psychological pull. Silence is not emptiness. It is a vast, fertile space loaded with potential and charged with uncertainty. It invites her to reflect, to wonder, to fill the gaps with her own thoughts and feelings, sparking a deep intrigue that no words could ever match. This mystery you cultivate rekindles her curiosity, forcing her to question everything she thought she knew about you. Instead of chasing her or scrambling for explanations, you stand firm in your quiet. Your silence speaks louder than any argument, louder than any explanation ever could. It is a language of strength, confidence carved from self-control and independence, broadcasting that you are not a man who needs to justify himself. Remember the words of Epictetus. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Your silence is your reaction. It is mastery in action, a demonstration that you are governed not by impulsive needs to explain, but by an unshakable calm that commands respect. This quiet power often becomes the turning point, the catalyst that makes her reconsider your value, your presence, your absence. She begins to realize that losing you is not a mere physical separation. It's an emotional chasm, a profound loss that cuts deeper than any spoken word. You show her that you are not someone to be easily replaced or understood, but someone worthy of effort, attention, and respect. In modern life, where instant gratification dulls the senses, mastering silence and mystery gives you a sharp edge. It sets you apart as a man of substance, a man who leads his own life on his terms. This is not about playing games. It's about owning your power. It's about being the man who walks away with dignity, knowing his value and forcing the world and her to recognize it. Let this be your lesson. Silence is not defeat. It is victory. It is the unspoken command that captures attention, the invisible force that draws her back when she thought she had you figured out. Do not fear silence. Embrace it. Wield it. This is your tool for control, for dominance, for winning in life and love. Take this wisdom, apply it relentlessly, and watch how the dynamics shift. Walk away. Be silent. Hold your ground. And watch her realize what she truly stands to lose. If you're ready to own this power, like this message, share your story below about when silence changed everything, and subscribe to sharpen your mastery over life's most subtle forces. Remember, silence is the loudest roar of a man who has mastered himself, and once you master this, nothing can stop you. And if you find today's content very interesting, please give me a word of encouragement by commenting "very interesting" in the comments section. That is a huge motivation for us. Thank you. Number 8. Walking away as an invitation to authentic connection. Walking away as an invitation to authentic connection carries a profound lesson rooted in the ancient wisdom of Stoicism, often misunderstood in modern relationships, especially among men navigating the complexities of life between 35 and 70. Walking away is too often seen as a harsh rejection or a sign of giving up, but from a stoic and emotional perspective, it is far more than that. It is a powerful, intentional invitation. It invites both individuals to step back from the immediate emotional entanglements and pressures and to reconnect first with their own inner truths. When you choose to walk away, not driven by anger, spite, or avoidance, but from a place of calm self-respect and clear understanding of your own worth, you create an opportunity that is both rare and invaluable. This act of walking away is a demonstration of your emotional sovereignty, a statement that you value yourself and your path enough to pause and reassess, rather than engage in fruitless conflict or power struggles. The Stoic philosopher Seneca reminds us, sometimes even to live is an act of courage. In this context, walking away becomes an act of courage, a conscious choice to seek authenticity rather than settling for drama or imbalance. When you withdraw, you do not disappear into the void. Instead, you hold a mirror up to the situation and to her, challenging the dynamic that often revolves around control, pursuit, or emotional games. This pause allows her to perceive you not as someone to be chased or manipulated, but as a man grounded in his values and secure in his self-worth. It invites her to question whether she truly desires a relationship based on equality, mutual respect, and genuine connection, or if she is attached to patterns of conflict and imbalance. This moment is transformative. If she chooses to return, it is because she recognizes the value of meeting you on equal footing, acknowledging your boundaries and integrity. On the other hand, if she does not come back, it is not a failure, but a clear, liberating revelation that your values or readiness for connection do not align, which in itself is a gift. Walking away then becomes an act of liberation, freeing both parties from relationships that no longer serve their growth or happiness. This cyclical process embodies the Stoic ideal of accepting what is beyond your control and focusing steadfastly on what you can govern, your own actions, values, and personal evolution. The wisdom of Marcus Aurelius rings true here. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Walking away is not merely about ending something. It is about clearing the ground for something better, whether that better is reconciliation or the fertile soil for new beginnings. This perspective transforms walking away from an act of loss into one of hopeful possibility and deep respect for oneself and others. In real life, this philosophy holds enormous practical value, especially for men in the middle years of life who have experienced the weight of relationships over time and understand the critical need for emotional clarity and boundaries. Many men struggle with the impulse to fix or control situations, but learning when to step back is a vital skill that preserves dignity and fosters true intimacy. If you find yourself in moments of tension or disconnection, remember that walking away can be a sacred pause, a chance to breathe and grow. It's a call to invest in your own journey and to return, if at all, with renewed authenticity and openness. The poet Rainer Maria Rilke's words capture this beautifully. Let everything happen to you, beauty and terror. Just keep going. No feeling is final. Ultimately, walking away is an invitation to a deeper, more authentic connection, a chance for both individuals to evaluate what they truly want and deserve. So take this wisdom with you into your relationships, and remember, walking away is never about defeat, but about honoring your worth and creating space for genuine growth. Now, I invite you to reflect and share. Have you ever experienced walking away as a moment of clarity or growth? How did it reshape your understanding of connection and respect? Your story could help others embrace this profound lesson and find strength in their own emotional journeys. Thanks so much for watching all the way through. I want to take a moment to really drive this home, because what we've talked about today isn't just some theory. It's a life-changing truth rooted in old Stoic wisdom that still applies now more than ever. Walking away isn't about running from problems or avoiding responsibility. It's a choice, a powerful, deliberate choice to honor yourself first. When you walk away, you show that your sense of self-worth is not tied to anyone else's approval or presence. You show that you are a man who values his peace, his dignity, and his freedom above all else. And here's the key. A woman feels that. She senses your strength, your confidence, and your independence. Sometimes it might stir confusion or even pain, but ultimately it commands respect, because it's impossible to respect a man who doesn't respect himself. If this message speaks to you, if it opens a door in your mind to new possibilities, then don't keep it to yourself. Hit the subscribe button now. By doing that, you're helping more men who are still stuck in the same cycle, men who don't yet realize the power they hold when they learn to walk away on their own terms. YouTube will help spread this message to those who need it most. And trust me, this truth needs to reach them before it's too late. So be the man who walks away, not out of weakness, but out of strength. Be the man who controls his own life, his choices, and his emotions. Be the man who is never afraid to lose her, because losing her isn't losing yourself. Because here's the unshakable truth. Once you become that man, you will never truly lose again. Every time you walk away with your integrity intact, you win. You win your self-respect, your freedom, and your peace of mind. Take this wisdom, apply it, live it. It won't be easy at first, but nothing worthwhile ever is. Stay strong, stay steady, and always remember who you are at your core. Thank you again for watching. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.